It's your boy, Dutch the Demon, and you're now watching Demon Time with Dutch. On today's episode of Prison Stories Uncut, we in Jessup now, Patuxent with it. Now, this situation took place over 20 years ago. You know anything about Patuxent? It's a program prison. The wing that I was on, E2, it was for dudes that caught their time when they was young, you feel me? A lot of time. Everybody over there had double digits. So basically, it was for people who caught their time when they was young and tried to get them home early. That was the program was based on. Now, back in them days, Patuxent, believe it or not, was ran by doctors because it was a youth offender program. And the doctors outranked the COs that was in there. So basically, depending on what they write in their report, they really determine if you go home early or not. So a lot of people was on the waiting list trying to get down Patuxent. They tried to get in that program and get home early. I was one of the people that made it in there. But anyway, when you in a Patuxent program, right, every Wednesday, you had to go to group meeting. Everybody on the tier live as a community, and we go to group together. So everybody on the tier is in the program. And on Wednesdays, we go to group together. Now, when you get in the group, you're going to hear dudes tell their story, what led them up to coming to prison. Me, I had it in my mind, I was going to be last to tell my story. You got 6 months to tell your story. So I was going to be last to tell my story. But during this process, I done heard everybody's stories. So how they start the group meeting off, they ask anybody want to tell their story today, right? So on this particular group meeting, on this particular Wednesday, one of my homeboys who I really was rolling with every day, he decides to tell his story. Now, you know in prison, you really don't pry in people's business. Man got 45 years. I'm going to just assume he got it for what else, you know what I mean? But you don't really ask people what they got up for and all that. That's nosy. They're going to look at you like you prying or you trying to figure something out, you know what I mean? So a lot of times dudes just leave that up in the air. But anyway, one of my homeboys, he decided to go ahead and tell his story, right? So I'm all ears. So I always been wondering what he got that 45 years for, right? So I'm acting like I ain't paying attention, but I'm all ears. So he starts telling his story. So he starts off talking about how he from East Baltimore, grew up in hard times, stuff like that, you know, the regular, the norm. But then he goes into how him and his best friend was trapping for a dude, right? They ends up running off with his package, taking Slim off. Slim catches his man that took him off, gets him out of there. So now dude that's telling the story, his homeboy just got whacked for taking Slim pack, and now Slim looking for him. Same dude looking for him. So long story short, he really scared to come out the house. He don't really want to come outside because he know niggas on his heels, right? But one day he want to go to the store, on the food house. He want to go get something to eat, right? So he lived in an apartment building off Greenmount Avenue, in the trenches, over East Baltimore. So for the first time in a couple weeks, he leaves out the house, walks out the apartment building, crosses the street, but he got a little cheap Chinese store cell phone in his hand. Remember the minute phones back in the day? He had the minute phone. So as he leaving out the apartment building, walking across the street, he's on the minute phone with his sister. His sister is up in the window watching him walk across the street. So basically he tell her, like, watch my back while I'm walking across the street. Tell me if anything going on behind me. And basically just watch me go to the store. So he's walking across the street on the phone with his sister, right? He goes in the store, orders food. Now this happens so fast. Because you know in Baltimore, you don't order no food and stand in the store. You order your food and leave out, come back when it's ready. Or you order it before you get there and then just pick it up. But you don't wait in no store, no Chinese store, nothing like that. Not no Baltimore. It's a death trap. So while he in the store, there was a car parked right across the street from the store, right? Now his sister's still in the window. Now while he in the store, two dudes get out the parked car that's across the street from the store, right? One of them gets out the car and jogs up to the store that he just went in and sits on the side of the store with his head down. He put his head down and sit like on a stoop right on the side of the store. And the other guy that was with him, he gets out the car and then he puts his arm on the roof of the car with his back turned to the store. So basically anybody that's walking out the store, if they looking straight forward, they would see his back and his arms up on the roof of the car, right? So Slim's still in the store getting his stuff, right? So when the food ready, and that was one of the errors that he made, standing in that store waiting for that food. No. But anyway, when he gets his food, he's still on the phone with his sister. Now his sister telling him like, look, when you come out the store, it's going to be a dude to the right of you sitting down with his head in his lap. And it's another dude that got out the car with him, standing right across the street, still at the car, with his back toward the store. He got something in his hand. They look suspicious, like watch them dudes. Just make sure when you come out that store, you ready, because them dudes don't look right. As soon as you went in the store, they hopped out that car and posted up around the store. So be on point when you come out that store. Now Slim in the store, he already paranoid. He got the blink on him. So as he telling the story, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, I really remember this situation. I ain't know it was him though, but I remember it from the news. So he telling the story. He say he in the store, pumping himself up to leave out the store, cause in his mind, them dudes that's out there, the dudes that's on his ass, right? So long story short, he get to walking out the store, and he say when he get to the exit to the door, his sister telling him the dude on the side of the door got something shining in his hand. Watch yourself. So he said he thinking to himself, like, I can't hesitate. As soon as he walks out the corner store, to the right of him, he looks down. Dude got a hoodie on with his head in his lap, sitting like on a stoop, without hesitation. He point down. He knocked Slim News out before he can even respond. 3 shots. Then he turned and started blinking at the dude standing across the street at the car. I'm talking about like 8 shots. Slim didn't even get a chance to turn around. Dropped him. He ran out the store, dropped the food, take off, running down Preston Street, ran past the apartment building, running all the way down Preston Street to his people's house. Long story short, he ends up with a body in the tent in 45 years. Sister ain't come visit him one time.